What's up, everybody? Scott Hawksworth here at recordingexcellence.com, bringing you the first of what will be a series of videos covering everything with regards to home recording, setting up a home studio, music production, songwriting, and so on. So the first topic that I wanted to cover is one that I think has a lot of value for beginners, intermediate, and even people who are really almost professionals when it comes to recording, and that's how to choose the best audio interface for your home studio. So just a quick overview of what an audio interface is for those of you who may be beginners to this. An audio interface is essentially a piece of hardware that expands and improves the sonic capabilities of a computer. So to kind of rephrase that, it essentially acts as a sound card, a replacement sound card for your computer, a more powerful sound card that's more dedicated than the one that's in your computer. In addition, audio interfaces can also give you the ability to connect microphones, instruments, and other kinds of signals to a computer, and then also allow you to output a variety of signals as well. So it essentially kind of connects what you're recording to your computer, where you'll be, mixing and all that good stuff. So what I wanted to cover was, well, how do you choose an audio interface? How do you choose something that is best for your home studio? And a lot of people ask this and don't know where to go. They think, oh, well, I just have to spend the most money I can afford to just get this great piece of equipment, and that's going to work for me. And that's just not true. Really, what you need to do when you're getting down to it and trying to decide what the best audio interface for your studio would be is ask yourself a few questions. And the first question you need to ask yourself is, what inputs and outputs do I need? And what this relates to is, what kind of instruments are you going to be recording? How many instruments are you going to be recording? And do these instruments need to be recorded at the same time? So if you're recording multiple guitars and microphones and keyboards, then yeah, you're going to need an audio interface that can, has the capabilities to handle all that. On the other hand, if you're going to be recording kind of like I do, which is just myself and a keyboard and a microphone, then you don't necessarily need all those inputs. To kind of clarify, what I mean by inputs, I think it's important to cover. You have inputs that are for instruments; those are called like high Z inputs, and then you also have inputs that are line level inputs. Those are for drum machines, certain synthesizers, and other items that aren't necessarily instruments. Another question you have to ask yourself is, okay, well, what compatibility do I need? What does the audio interface have to be compatible with? So that includes, what kind of DAW you're using. Some audio interfaces don't work with certain DAWs, digital audio workstations. What kind of computer are you using? Are you using a Mac or are you using a PC? Some audio interfaces don't work with PCs, some don't work with Macs. It's important to, read up and know what's compatible with what. What kind of connections do you need? USB, Firewire, that's on the Mac. Thunderbolt, that's on the Mac. It's a little more, it's a newer connection. Also PCI Express, that's not to get too technical, but that's another kind of connection that there could be. So what kind of connection do you need? The next question you have to ask yourself is, okay, what's my budget? Cost, right? So what's important about that is, again, to kind of circle back to this, you don't have to break the bank to get a quality audio interface. Most audio interfaces will have some level of preamp that kind of that'll boost the microphone signal. Most audio interfaces will allow you to connect a number of instruments. So you don't have to go out and spend $500 plus on an audio interface. That said, yes, it's a fact that generally, if you spend more on an audio interface, you're going to get a higher quality sound out of it. But that doesn't mean that you absolutely have to. Lastly, I just wanted to show you guys what I use, and an example of an audio interface that doesn't break the bank and does everything I need it to do. This is a AudioBox USB interface from PreSonus. It was $99, so not cheap, but also not top of the line at all. It's got an input for a microphone, input for an instrument. It's got MIDI cables that you can connect in the back. You can see it's a USB, so it can connect to my computer that I use. It's compatible with Macs. It even came with its own DAW that I didn't personally use, but bottom line, it's a simple piece of equipment that really works for me and does what I need it to do. So again, if you're going through and you're thinking, okay, well, how do I choose the best audio interface for my home studio? Just ask yourself those questions. Find out what you need now, not what you think you will need, not what you hope you will need. Buy the audio interface that will get you, doing what you want to do today. And again, don't break the bank. Don't feel like you have to spend your life savings to get an audio interface. You just don't have to. So that's it for this video. Thank you again. Please do subscribe to my newsletter if you want to get some tips and tricks and things like that about improving your sound and getting quality recording. Also, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to learn a little more about recording and stay up to date with the latest videos. So, thanks again.